You know what's pretty interesting and funny at the same time, yet not pretty interesting and funny at the same time? The fact that I'd say a good 99% of people, mainly those who don't know me or people who have just kind of like said hi to me and talked to me briefly here in Armenia, they just naturally assume that I come from a family that's very like open. And when I say open, they believe like I come from a family that's all about freedom and like letting me do whatever I want or believing in the kids. No. And then, no, I'm the way I am because of never receiving that freedom. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can recall, like I said, like in 2019 when my mom came to Gumri, she came with a taxi cab. My brother was there and two other people, I don't even fucking know who they were. And like when she came out of the cab, as she's still in the car, and like my neighbors are out, there's kids running around, whatever, because I was living at that time in the actors building. There's an actors building in Gumri, and she's screaming like a fucking lunatic. I haven't seen this woman or talked to this woman in years, and she's screaming like a lunatic. Everybody's coming out. There's people looking at the balconies like, what the fuck? And it was that moment when my neighbors came out and looked at me, and after my mom left even, and they looked at me like, now we understand why this girl, about myself, is the way she is, and earlier that year, like March, maybe even earlier, there was a few organizations like the Gumri Technology Center as well as Nordlus Counseling where I was actually doing talks about freedom and asking, psychological questions, assessments. It was part of the surveying, talking to people, the youth, men and women, boys and girls, on what freedom means to them. What is freedom? What do you see when you feel the word or when you see a picture? And I would show them pictures of somewhat, corresponding to the word, a few pictures, and what freedom means to them. You know what I'm saying? Because I've never really had freedom in my life. It's amazing, perceptions, interpretations of everything. It's so fucking interesting. So I thought I'd just share that to you because I've sat down and talked to like some interesting business people, and they've looked at me. They're like, "Oh, your family must be really open-minded," and I'm like, "What makes you think that?" They're like, "The tattoos that you have. Oh, Armenians, they don't. The Armenian families, mothers, parents, they can't handle tattoos. My mother fucking hates my tattoos. My sister fucking hates my tattoos. My brother fucking hates my tattoos. So I'm my own person, guys. It's so interesting because people don't quite understand the fact that because I live alone in Gumri, I don't go traveling other places. I don't even go to Yerevan on the weekends like most people do. They can't fully comprehend or understand how I have such a strong will to deal with the circumstances and the good, the bad, and the ugly that comes with living here. So they don't know my upbringing. And again, I have talked about some things in terms of rape and things of my upbringing growing up in certain organizations. I'd say most people can't see the fact or know the fact that the reason why I can put up with so much, in a sense, of pressure and live here in Armenia, especially in Gumri, is because of my strong will, my self-control, and my life experiences with danger and just not having a proper upbringing to begin with. So it's like my life experiences, the things I've worked in, investigative things, my background in psychology, my background in military, you learn life. My parents were never there. My family was never there. I have a blood family, but they're not a fucking blood family. They're not So people are going to judge. Sure, I do too. I'm not going to lie. Fuck. But I mean, it is what it is. And I just continue to smile and laugh at people who just fucking think that they know everything about you. Especially in a place or, the area of the world, like this region of the world. Understand that they've never seen anything except each other. They all look alike, they all act alike, they do everything behind closed doors, but there's a pretense of, we're good, clean people. Um, when I'm someone who's very empowered because I don't believe in being like everyone else. I've been beaten up to the point where I've been broken down everywhere, you know? Every person I was engaged to, like I've been engaged numerous times. One of them was Italian, but most of them were Armenian, you know? They don't fucking know that I've been almost basically choked to death. They don't know that my kidneys and my entire body has been bruised, beaten up to death. They don't know that my family is the one that made sure it happened. Do they know? They don't know. They don't know that my family has tried to marry me off, like, you know. So it's, and even if they do, they wouldn't understand because we're just different. You know, we're different people. We're different regions of the world. I think if I was born and raised in Armenia, I'd probably still turn out the same though. Do you get what I mean? Although like someone looking from outside, they may be like looking at me like, okay, Talar, you were born and raised in Canada. You're going to be influenced differently. Yeah, but not really at the same time because Armenia was and still is very much influenced by Russia in the Soviet times, you know? There's Russians that live here. You see them everywhere. They have tattoos all over their body. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're very open-minded compared to like. So it's my parents, like my family, they wouldn't even let us go out. Like I don't know how to explain it. You know what I mean? I didn't have that freedom growing up. I didn't. We never had that freedom. I would take all the fucking beatings from my family, and when I couldn't take it anymore, fight back or just leave. I'd leave. I would always leave the house. I would leave, you know? I would leave. So, I'm not gonna lie, it was my mother that taught me how to fight. It was my brother that taught me how to fight because they were always fucking beating me up. You know, the first time I was raped in my life, do you know what my mom would say to my brother on a regular basis? So that your sister doesn't go the wrong way in life, you have to beat her up every fucking day after I was fucking raped. Beat her up every fucking day so that you straighten her up. So when people look at me and they ask me, oh, you have all these tattoos all over your body, on your face, doesn't it hurt? Bitch, I don't feel fucking anything. I don't fucking feel anything because when at a young age, you're trained to that only weak pieces of shits cry. You have to hide your feelings. If you have feelings, you're weak. Being raised by being beaten up all the time. You know, I remember my brother and I, we used to fucking beat each other all the time. My sister too. And my dad would just sit there, watch TV, and he'd be like, I don't have to do anything. Let them beat each other up, you know? So, it is what it is. I'm not going to say I hate my family. No, not at all. I'm not going to say I hate life. No, because I don't think that way. I appreciate everything that I've experienced in life, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because it's made me who I am. I love who I am, and I will always love who I am. I've never been into drugs. I've never had serious addictions like most people. I've never done prostitution. Like, these are things that people would do with life experiences like this. I've never in my fucking life. And don't give me that shit of, oh, you must have had a wealthy background. No, honey, no. My parents were millionaires before I was born. When I was born, they lost it all. They were on bankruptcy multiple times. Okay? And when my family did have money, you think they ever gave me money? No. I never had allowance. I never had anything. They never paid me even when I worked for the family business. Okay? Everything I earned myself. And when I did earn it, my parents, my family expected me to cook or clean, and pay them, pay my mom's bills, pay my mom's cell phone, pay this or pay that every fucking minute. Money, give me money I don't even fucking have for myself. Feeding my niece with my food I can't even feed myself. So people don't understand that this is why I am the way I am. This is how I am dealing with it. A lot of people here that they don't understand, you know, when they find out that I'm not a prostitute, because initially they think I'm a prostitute. So when they find out that I'm not a prostitute, they look at me like, okay, she's rich, you know, she's rich. She's come here. She's come here. She's got money, you know. She's come here to do whatever the fuck she wants to do. No. I earn money. I work and I earn money. I'm not a millionaire. Definitely not. I have intelligence on how to earn money. I have ways on working with companies. I'm an independent contractor, but I'm also part of a company that brings me customers, brings customer service, clientele or whatever, so that I could, because I have a psychology background. Mind you, like I said, investigative. If I have investigative, it's so broad, the work I do. So type of field, there's an assessment that's done on the people, such as myself, who are considered workers, counselors, psychologists, investigative, whatever, investigators, criminal action, whatever the fuck it is, when I'm in criminal investigations, okay? They do testing, psychological testings, on a regular basis, and they determine your characteristic. I'm the maverick. I've always been the maverick since I was a little girl. Every fucking time where I have outdone a system, I have outdone a solid structure, security, whatever, I've outdone it. With what? My intelligence. Not my fucking rebellion. Not my fucking hatred or whoredom. No. My intelligence. You can look up what intelligence means. It's so broad. It's not just reading books. Okay? Mavericks are considered one of the greatest intelligent people out there. We're a very little, small portion amount of population. Just like the color of my eyes, which are gray, and that's why they look different in every fucking, under the light, and under the dark, in every lighting, whatever color I wear, my mood and whatnot. Very little population have gray eyes. So mavericks, we pretty much break every system you could possibly think of and just restructure shit and get shit done with our wit, with our characteristic. And based off my appearance, you'll never fucking believe I'd ever do anything with investigations, right? That's why people such as myself and my character are perfect for the role. Because you'd never think it. You'd never wonder. So, I just want you guys to have a great year, 2022. Okay, so like one more thing. I used to go to school, walk with my own feet. Grade 3, grade 6, grade 7, up into high school. Well, the amount of time that I spent in high school. Even till now, I go everywhere with my feet. My family didn't train me or teach me how to succeed in school. They didn't teach me mathematics. Nobody actually sat me down and taught me how to do anything. Nobody sat me down, and the only thing that I was sat down and taught is that if you don't believe in Jesus, you're going to go straight to fucking hell. And when I'd come home, everything it was about Satan and the devil and hell, hell, hell. My sister, since I was 3 years old, she used to watch this Freddy Krueger, fucking Michael Myers, and literally tie me to a fucking chair and force me at 3 years old up until a certain age to go to the fucking library and teach myself how to read. I struggled growing up in elementary school on how to read. I was always made fun of because I'd stutter and read really slow when the teacher would call me to read up in front of the classroom. I'd get mocked because of my pronunciation, whether it was Armenian or English, because I was mainly I was in Armenian school, So, I'd walk to the library an hour, go an hour, come. I still do this shit. I do everything myself. So if people look at me and ask me, how are you living alone in Gyumri? How do you have the strength of will to experience all the hardships and not be afraid of anything? My answer is that. My answer is a giggle. That's all it is, because they don't know. They don't know. And I can't sit there and explain everything to everybody because they'll never understand, and I don't want them to. They don't need to fucking know. Before I was explaining, my sister used to tie me down at a really young age and force me to watch these horrifying horror movies and tell me that I'm going to be, the same fate is going to happen to me in the horror movies. And I'd be tied on these fucking their own shit onto other people. And let me tell you, 99.9% of the time, 99.9999999% of the time, you're all wrong when you all judge me. Even fucking top quality astrologers, readers, they read these surface fucking shit. There's so many layers and layers upon layers. Remember, I'm the maverick. The maverick can take everything. And when the maverick shows you these characteristics, of course you're going to project your shit onto them. Of course. When you're raised in a broken environment and you're raised to be broken, and when you are developed or you're developing, when I used to walk to school, when I used to walk to the library, you know, my mom would come, when I'd see my mom, oh, you're gonna grow up to be a fucking whore anyways, what do you need studies for? You're a fucking whore, that's all you're ever gonna be. That shit's being implemented in my mind, though I never was a whore, but that shit's being implemented at a young age in my mind. So obviously, so it's really difficult to understand someone who raised themselves, who developed themselves through in and out of a broken environment. Where I live is very much broken too, in a sense that people here are broken. It is what it is. You know, so it's difficult to understand people who have been raised, and the only reason why the ring is on my finger is because I decided to train my, you know, to wear it or whatever, but when you grow up in a very broken environment, when all you have is your own fucking, let me tell you, when you are so broken and you need some form of development, you start taking on every fucking characteristic that you've ever been exposed to in order to survive. The good, the bad, and the ugly. It's not really you, but yet it's become you without you losing yourself, if you even know who you are. If that makes any fucking sense. And so, spending years in psychology, always being a psychologist for other people who were like older than me, man. These people were in the fucking high top people. What I mean, it's elementary, in high school, when top fucking psychologists in Toronto can't even figure me out as a child. That means something. And that always meant something to me. And the fact that I was capable of changing the fucking system and the structure of Catholic District Board school systems in universities through the fucking mafia, that shows something. Military people would come visit me, try to get me in the military, watch me, observe me, watch how I would handle myself in social situations. Watch, not through fucking studies, but life experience, how I fucking developed. Watch myself in dangerous situations where there's knives being thrown around, where people are coming to steal shit and I'm there fucking giggling with people, distracting them so I don't get myself into shit. I remember when I was like 18, 19 years old, 20 years old, he used to always say to me, your personality, I watch you all the time. I come here specifically to he's like, I'm not gonna lie, I think you have more than what it takes to join the military, you know? And he was like 47 or 44 or something of that nature, and he was retired. And he's like, by the time you're my age, you can retire. And he's like, they'll just, you know, watch your level of fitness and so on and so forth. But he goes, the only type of strength I've seen in women like you, girls like you, are in the military. He goes, I come and I watch the way you handle shit on your own, customers on your own, in dangerous situations on your own, money situations on your own, theft on your own, knives in your hands, knives in their hands. I have a very rich background that I don't explain to many people. And he used to say, I come here specifically to watch, because he goes, you know, we recruit people and shit, you know. Wherever I go, I affect lives, and I know that. And I affect lives so fucking intricately and thoroughly that they don't leave, they don't come in, and they don't leave that table that I was at the same person, whether they acknowledge or accept that happened or not. Mainly a lot of them do, but there's some stubborn people that when I see what they do after with themselves, let me tell you.